It's Accountex Live 2023. We are on day one and we are on the extravaganza that is the DEX stand. I'm here with Stephen Eddington. Hello to you, sir.
Hello, how you doing?
We're doing great. Stephen, Chief Product and Technology Officer, that sounds really grand.
It's a mouthful.
What exactly does that mean?
So sometimes you have Chief Product Officers and sometimes you have Chief Technical Officers, and this is the combined, the combined two.
Two for the price of one.
Exactly, so yeah, some might say I'm a little bit cheaper, but yeah, others might disagree. Yeah, so I mean, just maybe if you understand my background, it would help to understand that. So,
sure.
Out of university, I set up a business, grew that business for 14 years, grew to about 42 people, and then sold that to a company in the US, a large ERP company, Epicor.
Made you millions, sailed off into the sunset.
Yeah, well, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I actually really enjoy problem solving. And so, while I didn't plan to stay where I went in Epicor, I stayed there for another 7 years and was Chief Innovation Officer there. And then 2 months ago, I decided I wanted a new sort of challenge, and decided to join Dext, and that's where I am now.
Wow.
So 2 months in, and yeah, so this is my first Accountex, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, it's and looks pretty good.
Well, you're uniquely placed to give people watching a feel for the Accountex experience, because we're in a hall right now, which is the size of about 4 or 5 football pitches. It would take you an hour or two to walk around without talking to anybody. It's overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like really buzzing. There's a lot of activity going on. Everybody's representing their products and their areas, and so I think it's great for everyone to come to, just to sort of see what's happening in the accounting space. Typically, when I told others I'm going to work for Dext and this is an accounting company, they're like, accounting's not interesting. It's like, actually, there's a lot of innovation happening in accounting, especially as AI is completely rewriting how things work, how work is done.
Well, talk to us a bit about that without revealing secrets on your R&D stuff, but what kind of things are you working on right now with the product and tech?
So Dext, or used to be Receipt Bank, everyone knows it as a simple way of taking a picture of a receipt and it just magically appears in your GL. But under the covers, to do that at scale, there's a lot of tech going on there. Yeah. And we process about 330 million documents. And a lot of AI goes into that with a machine learning team that makes sure that is 99.9% accurate.
That's a game changer, isn't it?
Yeah, and we've got competition in the space, but we are the best in there, and that's why I joined Dext, because there's actually a massive opportunity here. So we use AI to classify, to sort of build a structured document out of an invoice or a receipt, but then we also leverage it, and we're going to be adding it to our mobile app on the camera. So when you take the picture, is it in focus? Have you kind of just got one receipt, not multiple receipts? And then there's various other areas that I'm looking to explore. Now I'm in here with, how do we apply it for anomaly detection, better categorization, and even sort of modeling behaviors more. Typically we kind of model, what is the exact supplier, what is the exact line items on a receipt, but how people code them into their GL sometimes different. Sometimes they want to have it as coffee, or foods or meals, versus the actual supplier. And so there's a lot of opportunity to use these new capabilities in language models that you've seen with ChatGPT to apply that to receipt technology, but also in how do you get better help, how do you ask questions about HMRC, how do you sort of respond to clients that have questions. And so at Dext, we're not just the receipt processing, we also have a precision product, a commerce product. Our commerce product does things like connects digital sellers on Shopify, eBay, Etsy, Amazon. So you're starting to see these companies appear that might be a single man band or a single woman band that are basically kind of straddling all these complicated platforms, but they still need to account for it.
Yeah.
And that's where the commerce piece comes in. So it's been a little bit slower to say the Prepare product, but this is kind of where we've got some really interesting things happening in the future.
Yeah. And do Dext sell direct to accountants or to the clients of accountants?
So we do both. We've got a lot of accountants and bookkeeper firms that have their clients that want to automate their practice, that want to leverage technology to do more, save them time. But then we're also seeing companies and clients come direct that in effect want to do the same. So it's kind of quite a beautiful model where the accountant has always been that trusted advisor. And who wants to sort of deal with receipts and paperwork, but it's more than that now with Dext, and that's part of the name change.
Yeah.
It's also really about digital commerce and then data quality, and so we think about precision on how do you get your data quality up, because garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, you're not going to know where you are, what you can pay, or what cash you got in the bank if you don't have good quality data in your GLs. Yeah, and so that's what precision does. so it helps the client get better quality, but it also helps the practice organize their work to be done. Yeah, and the sort of like the jobs and the deadlines that need to happen. So that's the precision piece. And Commerce, like I mentioned, pulls all those things together. And where we're going in the future is really bringing these things closer together, so it's a little bit more seamless for the companies, so they can all benefit from it.
You sound excited about the future, Stephen.
Yeah, no, I am. I think 2 months in, so I haven't run off yet. But yeah, like, look, I think Dexter's got a massive opportunity. We've got all this data. We make our customers more effective, whether that's a bookkeeper, an accountant, or a business. And you know, when you look at the companies out there, and coming from a larger company in ERP, where you've got like, you know, finance teams and you've got bigger businesses, there's a massive untapped potential of like manual processes that happen in those companies that really, to be honest, some of the smaller companies have got a leg up to some of those bigger companies that are people powered, where, like, you know, not Dex powered. So yeah, really exciting.
Wow, Stephen Eddington, thank you so much for your time, and the future's bright. The future is definitely Dext.
It was orange, yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.